Okay, let's talk about that big, ambitious goal you have. You know the one. And let's be real. Why, despite all your planning, haven't you actually started yet? We're about to decode the invisible psychological laws that are keeping you stuck.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You've got the step-by-step guide, you've watched all the tutorials, you probably even bought the gear. So what is this invisible force that's holding you back? That's a maddening question, right? But the answer, well, it's not what you think it is.
We all do it. We beat ourselves up, we call ourselves lazy, we say we lack motivation, but the truth completely flips that on its head. This is so much deeper and way more primal. Your brain is actually actively working against you, not because it's lazy, but because it is absolutely terrified.
And that fear, it builds something we can call the comfort trap. And no, it's not a physical wall, it's this psychological fortress your brain builds for one single purpose: to protect your ego from the risk of trying and failing. It's a survival mechanism that's accidentally become a prison.
So let's start right there by unmasking this so-called laziness. We're going to dive into the clever, almost deceptive feel-good tricks your brain is using to keep you safe and sound inside that trap. So the first trick, create something psychologists call the intention-action gap. This is that incredibly frustrating chasm between the brilliant plan you cooked up at 2 a.m. and the zero action you took the next day. This gap right here is where dreams go to die. And your brain, well, it loves it there.
And here's exactly how it works. You just think about launching that business or finishing that big project. Instantly, your brain rewards that thought with a little hit of dopamine, you know, the feel-good chemical, and suddenly you feel productive, you feel accomplished, even though you haven't moved an inch. That feeling is so good, it actually replaces the need to do the real hard work.
But wait, your brain has another trick up its sleeve. It's called temporal self-displacement. Now that's a fancy term for a really simple but powerful illusion. The belief that future you is basically a superhero who will have all the energy and motivation that present you is missing.
So when you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'll start one day," you're essentially outsourcing the hard work to a complete stranger. Your brain just logs the task as handled and lets you off the hook for today. It is the ultimate procrastination loophole. Okay, now this trap gets even more subtle, even sneakier. Let's talk about how we use activities that feel productive to actually hide from our most important goals. This is called escape behavior. And you know exactly what this is. It's when you spend 3 hours watching videos about how to be productive instead of just doing the one productive thing you actually need to do. It's sophisticated procrastination, and it's disguised as research and self-improvement.
You convince yourself you're learning, you're preparing, you're strategizing, but in reality, you're just on a hamster wheel. You're getting this steady little hit of feeling like you're making progress, which keeps you right where you are, stuck, but feeling really good about it.
Ultimately, this is all about protecting your ego. See, the potential of who you could be, that's perfect. The messy reality of actually trying something today, not so much. Your brain will choose that perfect dream over the messy reality every single time, singing you a little mental lullaby to keep you safely dreaming.
Okay, so let's go even deeper now. Because this isn't just psychology, we're talking about biology. We're going to look at why your brain is physically hardwired to resist the very changes you want to make. This resistance is like a double-edged sword. On one hand, you've got your brain's hyperconnectivity, which means it instantly maps out every single thing that could possibly go wrong. And on the other, you have its cognitive rigidity, which makes it cling to what it already knows, because any new path feels like a direct threat. It's basically a biological lockdown. So how in the world do you break out? You stop waiting for motivation. That feeling, that dopamine rush you're chasing, it's a trap. Truly disciplined people have achieved a state of what you could call automaticity. They don't wait to feel like it, they just do it, because it's time to do it.
And that brings us to the escape plan. We've diagnosed the problem, now let's talk about the fix. And it's a simple, incredibly powerful tool called an implementation intention.
This right here is the fundamental shift you have to make. You have to take the emotion out of the equation. The old question, do I feel like doing this? Well, that's just an invitation to negotiate with your comfort trap. The new system is a non-negotiable command. It's time, so I do it.
An implementation intention is just a simple if-then plan. For example, if it is 7 a.m., then I will put on my running shoes. That's it. It pre-decides your action, and it completely short-circuits your brain's internal debate club. The question of should I
never even gets a chance to be asked. So here's how you build it, step by step. First, you create that fixed if-then plan. Second, you consciously, deliberately remove the debate. Every time you follow through, you are literally training your brain to value delayed gratification, the real reward of progress, over the cheap, immediate pleasure of just staying on the couch.
And here's the key takeaway we get wrong all the time. We wait. We wait to feel clear and confident and motivated before we act. But it's completely backward. You don't think your way to a new life, you act your way into it. Clarity is the result of action, not the thing you need to get started.
You know that version of you that you dream about? The one who's disciplined and successful and has it all together? Yeah, that person isn't going to magically appear one day. You are building that person, brick by brick, with every small, disciplined action you take right now, today.
So here's the final thought. One day is a dream. Day one is a decision. The only thing separating the life you want from the life you have right now is the choice to close that gap. The power isn't in the plan, it's in that first step.